Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Lydia Holland, and this presentation that you're joining us for tonight is Seeing Differently, How Teens Turn Everyday Curiosity into Real Research or Startup. So thank you so much for joining us. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and put to Dr. Du.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to this webinar. I'm going to work with you for this process. So feel free to make notes or, make a chat if you have any questions. So my name is Dr. Du. So today we're going to talk about this topic. Hopefully you'll be interested. So a little bit about me. I was a professor at the U.S. Naval Academy and also a professor and PhD advisor at Purdue University in the electrical engineering department. I was an engineering director at Qualcomm, and now I'm a founder and CEO at Integem. I have experience literally taught and mentor students from 5 years or so to PhD level or even postdoc level. I have published some papers, filed some patents, and get some of my research funded by some NSF, some other organizations, and also have some startup experience. Most important, I'm a parent. So my child went through the public school system, just graduated last year, and went through the college application, and he was lucky to get into Harvard University. And I also have experience work with private school, charter school, and homeschool students. So I kind of understand parents, what you think, and also educator.
Great. So before we get started with the rest of the presentation, we're going to do a quick poll just to get to know you all and figure out what it is that you're interested in. So the question is, are you interested in learning more about teen startups, teen research, startup and research, or something else? And I see that response is coming in, and we've got a lot of overachievers here. It seems like most people are saying both. They want to learn about startup and research. Very ambitious. I think we've got about a little over 50% say they want both. Third of people saying that they're interested in startup, and a small percentage, I think about 6% interested in doing something. Great to hear that. I'll leave that a little bit open for just a little bit longer, but I will go sit back to you, Dr. Du, to get us started official presentation.
I wanted to say, a lot of times young students, even older people, like adults will say, innovation only belongs to some genius guys, but it's not true, okay? Everyone can be very innovative. And I have evidence to prove that. And the question is not if you're innovative or not. Actually, the question is how do you make your innovative idea to be real? So here's the proof, right? Remember when you were little? Even adults here in this webinar, you may think when you were little, right? You probably, grab a little small car, small little toy flying around with your hands, right? That is a flying car. And some part of a flying car still going to realize. So this is a very innovative idea. You had that when you were 2 to 3 years old, probably. When we were young and when you were little, you probably playing with your dolls, your little toys, and you talk to them, pretend to talk to you, doing things. That is AI toys, AI robots, and social robots or anything. You can talk about that is $1 trillion market, and that is still ongoing, right? So see, you come up with that idea when you were 2 to 3 years old. Also, when you were a little bit older, maybe when you watch movies, when you play games, or when you read stories, you wish, what if I was there? I was there to fight with Thanos. When I was there to help Harry Potter. When I was there to visit different planets, right? That is the metaverse idea, right? The metaverse technology still developing, right? We now see AR and VR, those kind of technologies, but actually, metaverse will come into the time, probably needing more technology development. You guys have that idea when you were very, very little, right? Again, this evidence shows everybody can be very innovative, and you have had a lot of innovative ideas, right? The question is not if you have ideas or not. The question is how do you make it to be next level? So today we'll talk about this framework to spot your ideas and make to be for either startup or research, right? So first thing is spot. S, right? We see seeing different, S.E.E. That S is a spot. So spot is kind of, you see, why is it so annoying? It's so bad. I want to change. Or something, you have crazy daydreams or crazy ideas. That possibly is the idea. The moment of your innovative idea comes to you, right? And the next step is you need to explore. Who is this one for? Who's this idea for? And when will this one happen, right? If it's happen very soon, that would be great startup idea. But if that would take years to come, that's probably research idea. Or if it takes hundreds of years to come, maybe you need to let it go and focus on next one, right? And then does that matters, right? Is that a lot of people and it's really people care? And then the next part is the second E is execution. The execution is the most important part and it's the hardest part, right? In order for you to execute your ideas, make it happen, no matter for research or for startup or doing something, right? you need to first have solid foundation, and then you need to study existing work in the field, and you need to identify what's your unique niche, right? Each person is different. You may not be Einstein, you may not be Bill Gates, you may not be Mark Zuckerberg, but you are unique, right? You have your own insights and you have your own great niche. Next step is then really work on it, right? Conquer a lot of problems and develop prototypes, designs, or focus on research projects and iterate with that. So I want to say this is a great time. You guys are lucky generation, right? You're luckier than your parents' generation, your grandparents' generation, because AI is in the top. What's happening now, just now, the current AI situation is we have AI agents, which can do much deeper than just a chat with you, right? They can do plan steps, they can use tools, they can do something more concrete, do tasks for you. The AI has multimodality capability that they can analyze, understand cross text, images, audio, video, and sensor data. They can do a lot more assistance to you. And also the physical AI. Physical AI is AI robotics, AI drones, AI toys, AI machines that have a forms of physical forms make AI to be not only doing into virtual digital situation, but also in a real concrete 3D world to help us to get things done. And also we see a lot of AI powered creator tools like AI, video editor, AI audio generator, AI art. So a lot of work we need to do at old times, and now the AI can help make it easy for us to do. So with those tools, those capability, a lot of tedious and difficult things you probably need a whole team of people to do. Now you can do it with very simply. So again, go back to this S.E.E, right? See, this kind of situation. For the AI can help you with each step. When you spot these questions or problems, right, AI can help you to list, is that making sense? Those kind of things, and then explore. And the AI can help you to explore if this is truthfully exist and if this has a lot of people have similar problems, and then you can choose the best angle or best one. And then in the execution part, AI can help you to draft scripts or doing some things, markups, help you to data analysis, understanding, doing a lot of things, right? We will just use 3 examples today. And again, the goal is to not for you to go back today and to come up your own Airbnb, come up your own Canva, or come up your own Google. But I just use those 3 examples to see like how those successful founders, they come with the idea, how they use their unique niche and how they move to be successful, and then how you, if the AI can help you, if imagine they don't have such kind of company and you start today, and what kind of things can help you and what kind of things you need to do, and then what's next, right? How many of you have heard about Airbnb or went to Airbnb? If you just heard about Airbnb, put 1 into your chat. If you have ever, rented Airbnb, stayed in an Airbnb place, put 2 there so we can have a quick go through that. Okay, I see some people went to stayed in the Airbnb. A lot of you have or heard about Airbnb. That's great. So Airbnb was founded by Brian, Joe, and Nathan. So the idea was from during the bad situation. They were broken students. They came to San Francisco. It's very expensive. They cannot afford hotels. What they did is they stayed with their friend's living room with air mattresses. And then that's a bad situation. But from there, they said, wow, I have such problem. Did somebody else have? Then they explore, right? They explore with that many people need to find affordable places to stay, and many families have extra, living room or extra bedroom they don't need to use during the night, and then they can, share, maybe rent it out to make some additional income plus help visitors, right? So they see, they explore, they find this is a concrete problem, not just they have, that somebody else will have, has a meaningful problem. So then they develop the Airbnb, right? They develop the Airbnb, but it's not immediately they build a Airbnb, they become $1 billion company, go to IPO. It's not, right? And they hit the roadblock. The roadblock is they went there and then nobody come to rent from Airbnb.com. So their founders went to interview. They find because their picture was bad, there was no trust. So they think the no trust because, they are, again, I want to emphasize their founders' unique background. the two of the founder from Rhode Island School of Design. So they are designer and top-notch art designers. They think I want to solve this problem, use design way. So they go to those homes, take pictures, make it nice. And their co-founder Nathan is a great, technical guy from Harvard University. So he made a fantastic website with those beautiful pictures and a nice layout. And then that's how acquired the first set of people, and then the first set of more and more hosts to come. They become more and more successful. Obviously, from there to now, they solve a lot of different issues and do a lot of things. But I would say in general, I would say Airbnb's a very example is design plus technology together for this startup, right? And then let's say there's no such thing called Airbnb. And if you want to start Airbnb today with AI, right? The AI can help you with obviously image editing, layouts, texting, and communication, FAQ, a lot of those communication things. But then still, you will need to do a lot of human side work. You need to recruit hosts and also talk to get feedback and then decide what you should choose, how to improve your system. Those things still need to a lot of human touch. This is still two-side market problem, and there's a business model. We can talk more about that if we go to startup program in the future. And so still need a lot of human touch. AI can help you a little something, but not take over everything by themselves. And also, I don't suggest you to go back to create your own, blah, blah person, Airbnb.com. The reason is you copy the old idea, things change it, so it won't work, right? This just as an example. The second example is Canva. If you have ever used Canva, just to put 2 there. If you ever heard about Canva but never used, you can put 1 there. Okay. I see quite some more students, people, and use the Canva, right? Some of you have heard about Canva. That's great. So the Canva was from a frustration of the founder. So they built the Canva. Canva is a design tool, easily for you to design posters, flyers. Now they can work with videos for social media share, those kind of things. So let's use the S.E.E. to evaluate, right, to see how they make Canva to be successful. Initially, the founder, she find struggled hours to use professional design tools to do something for their schoolwork, and it's too difficult. So she said, why should only expert can create beautiful things? I'm a creative. I want to create beautiful things too. So that was her frustration. And then from there, they studied, right, explored if this is a problem just of themselves or it's everybody. They find most people who are not professional designers have struggled here or there to design things without professional skills. So then from there, they built the Canva and they built upon their user experience because they totally understand who they are, what they wanted, and what's the struggling they have, and they have a technical co-founder, built a beautiful use technology for the Canva, and then they have a business co-founder also find the business niche, right, to make Canva to be meaningful and profitable and useful. But obviously, they keep improving and make design even simpler and more powerful. That is a Canva, right? And then let's imagine nowadays, today, right? There's no such thing called a Canva, and you need to start to build a Canva. Can AI help? Yes, AI can make those design, Canva layouts and summarize or come up with idea much easier, right? With AI art capability, AI creator tools. So a lot of things can make much easier. And old times, and that time when the Canva founders need to struggle in a lot of those technical details, now with AI, you can easily to solve a lot of them. However, it's not like you can just today go back home to build a Canva yourself and you become very successful, because build a lot of Canva won't work today, right? A lot of people already has experience with AI, and then they already expect much higher expectation of using AI. But the one thing that still exists, they want the experience to be simple, easy, right? So this one takeaway from this Canva is something you feel struggled, and you could be the expert into the user experience side of things. And the next one is Google, right? Google is the example of daydreamer to make a breakthroughs, right? So the Google co-founders, Serge and Larry, they are Stanford University students. And the story is, by the way, before that, any of you have used the Google, please put 1 there. Okay. And if you only heard about Google, never used it, you can put 2 there. Okay. A lot of you have used Google. Nobody put a 2 there so far. So again, let's use S.E.E. to evaluate, right? To see how Google becomes what's AI. Oh, there's somebody never used Google. Okay. So Google, the background is they wasted a lot of time, and that time was 1998, right? And then internet just came into the town. They wasted hours to want to find some simple questions, find some websites. They could not. And then they find it to find trustworthy information is very almost impossible on the internet. That was frustrate them. And they did research, right? They find this is a serious search problem. And everyone on the internet needed to find the relevant information quickly. So that's they explore, they find this is a huge problem, not just for themselves, but for almost everybody in the internet. So what their execution is, then they are hardcore, researcher, right? So they deep research into the search algorithm and then developed a breakthrough search, their own algorithm. It's called the PageRank, right? And then they built early cloud, their first kind of like a few companies to the cloud infrastructure, and then developed a highly profitable business. So this one is not just deep technology, but also business model. Google become really lift up. It's not just have a top-notch search capability or a cloud platform enable them to do so, but also they have this business model, the Google Ads, make Google to be very successful. Let's imagine, right? Today you want to build something like with Google, without Google, right? No such called Google now. With today, with AI, you want to build an engine, there's no such thing, Google. Then obviously AI can help you with some of the code, maybe some of the pipelines, some data cleaning analysis, those things AI can help you. But then you, with the AI into the town, right? Search experience is no longer just a bunch of websites you can click, find your own answers, right? People expectation is then they can get answer and then they can do the task. So the requirement of search engine is much higher than back to 1996, 1990 or early 2000. So with AI into town, some things become easier, but then with AI into the town, and then there's something else you need to do more. So this is also give you examples. Maybe you can think, you can pick a domain you care about or something. I can really imagine, right? Go crazy or push more deeper, right? Some daydream about that. Maybe that is a great idea, and then you can make a big breakthrough. So we just go through simply those 3 companies, and then what's common into those 3 companies, right? We find they all have those founders be successfully combined their unique ideas and with the superpower skill at that time, right? For example, Airbnb, obviously they have coding, they have a nice website design, and also their own art and design skills. Canva, and obviously is a beautifully done website and a beautifully done tool. And Google is very deep research, right? They have their own algorithm and cloud platform. And in the new era, right, with AI, right? The superpower is AI. So it breaks the barriers, and it's very important for you, all of you, if you want to do something next thing big, you really need to learn AI. What is AI, how AI works? That will help you to build a foundation and move forward. And also I want to emphasize those 3 cases show us, right? Success is not just ideas, right? You really need to build foundation and then execute, work on it, make it work, right? And then as a high school students or younger, even younger, right? You can have those skills. You can join like summer camps, online class, student research, startup academies, and become to build those things. A lot of I personally see there's a K-12 education different from what a college education, there's a bigger gap, right? But as a student, you cannot just complain about that gap. You really need to go outside to learn it, to find opportunity to learn and to build your foundation, go from there. So again, after you build your foundation, right, you need to build your foundation. That's very, very important. And there's a 2 route, right? One is you want to do startup. Some of you want to do research. Some of you want to do both. I want to emphasize startup or research is not complicated. It's not a contradictory or parallel. There's an interwing. You can maybe do both at the same time. It's not an issue, right? So, but a startup is more focused on you need to bring something meaningful, either products or services to people, meaningful. And then research is you need to bring something new, something never done before, new method, new insight, new design. You do research, you want to focus on something not in the market for 1 to 2 years or 3 years. You need to do something futuristic. You need to become to the market for 5 to 10 years later or even longer. And for startup, you want to do something immediately can be achieved. So the timing is different for startup and research. Yeah, but Google did different. This is never done before, and it's immediately needed. So they did. That is a very excellent things you can focus on if you want to do both startup and research. Yeah, and so there's things. I hope you can use this one to think. At least you can feel something useful to take home today, right? So if you want to do startup ideas, you can ask those questions that if that would be cool, who this one for, when. Timing is very important for the startup, and then also what's value you can provide to people, and then how do you validate your ideas, how do you build it. And if you want to do research, right, what did you see, noticed? I want to emphasize research is not just you find something never done before, it's good in research. The good research is must be nobody done before, and it's meaningful, futuristic. That will put you into the map of frontier, and then other scientists, professor will care, and that will be bring future to you. So research is not just any research. Research you need to focus on frontier research, and then what you can validate, and how do you what's your hypothesis, what's your methodology, those kind of things, right? And to execution is most important for success. No matter if you want to do research or if you want to do startup or anything, right? So you really need to build foundations. Your foundations like AI is very important, coding, robotics, drones, those things, and build your foundations. And then you want to pick one idea to focus on. You need to focus because there's easily to have a lot of ideas every day, but you focus on one idea and you really dig into that and either focus on research or focus on the startup first, right? Either you want to build a product or service, or you want to do deeper into the intellectual side, and then you go from there. And then why is in this process you need a mentor? If you look at all the successful startups, they all had mentors. If you look at all those successful researchers, they all had mentors before. And the mentors is basically provide you structure and directions and help you to avoid a lot of silly mistakes, save time, and also help you to focus. A lot of times it's very difficult to be focused, and then also offer technical guidance. That's very important. A little bit about Integem. So we kind of like provide information classes, summer camps, leadership programs, startup and research for young students. But our focus is into AI and cutting edge technology because I personally see the big gap between K-12 education versus college and graduate school, and also what engineering world or the real world needed. So at Integem, we offer, camps and classes, which is perfect for you to build foundations into AI, drones, robotics, or designs, this field. And then we are not just in the classroom, just learn. Teacher tells you A, you do A. We very much focus on you will be able to create your own things. Each class, we will let you to spend half of the time to create your own AI games, or maybe your own AI, develop your own AI robotics algorithms, or design your own 3D animations. You need to spend time to really go from scratch, design your own. This little steps is very important for you to exercise, for you to go from spot something, go to explore, and go to execution. So that's very important. And then you can also earn NVIDIA AI certificate if you do coding, robotics, and drone. That could be a little perk considered to be honor, academic honor and awards in the college application, because this shows this is professional engineering level. So this is great for you. We also have a startup programs. This one is for students who really want to do some hands-on innovative product and service. You don't need to be engineering major or want to do tech. You can be business, you can be sports, you can do design or education, but you wanted to do something and you are open-minded, you want to learn this foundation and do it, right? That's very important. And we will go through this process with you. And this is one-on-one. Well, no, we don't want to do group because we find actually each student has their own situation and they have their own idea. They have something they want to do differently. So I think one-on-one mentorship is very important for this one. We also have a support in the backbone to help you to build your product and services, and encourage to use a lot of AI and cutting-edge tools. And for the tech research programs, this one is a team research program. This one is for people who wanted to push boundaries academically. This one is also, we focus on one-on-one mentorship, and you can be in the science, engineering, or humanity or economics, not necessarily into engineering or doing robotics, but we focus on helping you to use AI and cutting-edge tools to tackle frontier questions. The frontier questions, the criteria is nobody done before, and then scientists or researchers or professors in the field, they would also interesting to pursue. That's very important. Don't do something already, nobody cares, right? And then we want you go through this process, and then you study what's going on and what's the problem, and you develop your own idea and solutions and work on that. We hope you'll be able to publish peer-reviewed papers at the end of this program, and then you develop your own unique research identity. We understand top university always looking for the traits of the research or startup. It's not because research and startup, it's just like you can get a high score. It's not. It's because if you can be successful in your research program or startup programs, you already can be successful in your future careers. You already have this how learning should be, right? You should be self-motivated, you are driven, you are practical about problem solving. So that's why the top university wants you. Yeah, so it's beyond what you just get a good score about. So again, a lot of times, right, the young students will say, yes, I want to do it, but maybe too hard, this is not for me. But I don't see that, right? So again, as I said in the beginning, everybody is very innovative. You have been very innovative when you were just very little, right? You just a little need to be really build a little bit foundation, right? Come to taking, for example, Integem courses or summer camps, and then learn some AI, learn the skills and tools. And that is the simple steps, right? Everybody can learn. And then you just think harder, or when you're frustrated, or when something happens, when you have daydreams, capture that and explore it, and then focus on one clear question and to begin to build it step by step. There's a process. If there's a process, you can do it. Somebody do it, and you can do it, right? And then you can go from there to lift yourself to the next level. And I want to emphasize AI and then cutting edge tools can help you to move faster, but then you also need to use responsibly, and it cannot replace you. So still be your own creativity and your own innovation and your own hands-on work. You also need to have built your to do things, right? Build your foundation, and it's easy first step. So I want to emphasize, about Integem, right? So we don't just teach, but we help you to build and ship to make things happen. So we focus on AI and cutting edge technology. The reason is I do see that's a huge gap into the high school education, middle school education, elementary school education, cross private school, public school, charter school, because there's difficult in the curriculum, difficult into the resources in the schools, and also difficult in the teachers understanding in this field. So that's why Integem, we want to focus on that. And we focus on you create things. We don't want you become a person like you only told to do A and you do A. The way you come to Integem is not like a teacher will always go there in the blackboard, tell you A and you write A. That's not the way you can be success in the future. The teacher still do some instructions, group instructions, but you need to focus on yourself and have your own pace and motivate you to learn and do things. Everything is hands-on. It's not recital something. Those things will be useless in the AI era. You really need to hands-on, and you need to connect the dots from your experience, from what you learned here, what you learned in Integem, what's your life experience. Put them together, connecting dots. That's also very important characteristic in the AI era. And then you need to be, you need to have guided by people who are tech savvy. Right? Our teachers are all tech savvy. That's a very minimum requirement for Integem. And then we want you to have real outputs from each program. You will either have your own creations, your own prototypes, or your own papers, or something. We want to have real stuff. If you do tech leadership, you have something concrete to show there. And we hope students who have no idea what I'm going to do, that's fine. You can come to explore, come to our camps or online class. You can and develop a passion. You can come here to the research or startup programs, or you can build confidence, hands-on success, or you can have your portfolios. And I would say getting into top university should never be your goal. It just should be only perk because you learned you're capable of doing that. You should not worry people select you or not. It's the college, top college will come to you and invite you to join, right? When you're for that. So academic success application is just a perk. So again, thank you very much for your time. And then we love to work with students, educators, schools, and organizations. And here's our website. You can go to integem.com, or you can send us email and phone number. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ju, for that great presentation. I know things that you were talking about and the ways that you provide support to students so that they can develop those critical skills is just so important. And it seems like our students will definitely appreciate it as well. For the remaining time that we're just gonna do a quick Q&A. Without further ado, I will go ahead and ask the first question for you, Dr. Ju, which is, how can teens practically identify which everyday problems are worth turning into research or a startup?
Okay, that's a very good problem, right? So let's go back. It's easy for people to spot something, right? I have some frustrations, I have some bad situation, or I have daydreams, right? But then the second step is very important. You want to explore. Is this is just me have such problem, or is more people have such problem? It's very important. If this is only the entire world, only you, one person have such problem, maybe not a good way to explore. But if a lot of people have such problem, then that could be a critical problem to solve, right? Next question is this a problem matters? Is this one how, from 1 to 10, right? 10 is really, really matters, or 1 is, it's okay, then you want to do something matter, right? And the third one is this is a very hard problem, like you have no way to solve, won't be able to solve within 1,000 years, right? So for example, I want to fly to, go to the end of the universe, right? So maybe I cannot solve it today. That's the moment. This problem, even though a lot of people want it, this is a very significant problem. I may not want to focus on that one now, right? So again, timing is also important. And then that's also, and then when you pass the second part, explore, and the third one is execute, right? You need to look at what's the foundation you have, what kind of things you have, right? What people have done in the field, and then what do you have unique niche to do it? So yeah, do you have unique niche, and do you have foundation and unique niche to do that? So that's also the third part. It's very important. And also in the process, not only startup, you heard about people say pivot, right? If you don't work, you need to change and doing something different. But also actually in the research field, we also pivot. So sometimes when we have this hypothesis, or maybe we have this design, but in the middle of that, we find there's no way we can achieve that, and we may need to go a different way. So you also need to feel comfortable to pivot your initial ideas. So this is iteration, continue idea, continue process. I hope that answered your question.
No, that actually is very helpful. Another question we have is, what common mistakes do teens make when trying to innovate, and how can we avoid that?
This is another very good question, right? So I will see a lot of people have couple each step, right? The first step, a lot of people just have great ideas and let it go, right? This is a lot of times we made such silly mistake, let it go, right? So that's the first problem we have. The second problem is we have too many ideas and then we did not focus, right? We did not filter out. Some ideas, again, you need to figure out, is this just you have such problem? Is that a lot of people have such problem? You want to focus on a lot of people have such problem. Is this something matter? Is that something matter? This is also important. So you need to go through this process to do. And then this is a very simple question you can ask yourself. And then also in the execution side, right? And then doing things without foundation, just directly do, and you don't know how to do it, it's very easy. Like you spend a lot of time, you cannot make much progress. And also you did not study what people have done and what people has failed. That's also a silly things, because then you may go do a lot of repetitive stuff people already done, or you did something people already proved cannot work, right? And then you also did not know your strengths and your unique niche. That's also an easy problem a lot of students, a lot of not just students, companies also made. And then also in the process, right, you need to feel brave enough to say, if this is a bad idea, I can pivot, or I can change, I can iterate, and I keep improve. That's also very important. So I would say this process, each part, there's a lot of possibilities go wrong. So that's why it's interesting, and it's important to focus and then to have guidance to do it.
The last question that I have before we wrap up is how can a project that you start in high school help with college applications or a future career?
This is a very good question, right? So the first thing is your high school studied things can be directly, right? First, you build something real, and then I would say college education is just process of your life. It's not like you go to blah blah university, then you become supreme people. It's not like that. College is just a natural way to help you develop your skills, help you to develop your knowledge, and help you to develop a person. So when you're building a high school, actually, I would say I will find a college to fit in what I'm interested in. I fit in what I'm doing. Than I just because I want to go to blah blah university. So I change my passion, change things, and it's different. I would say to the next level. So getting into top university should be just a perk for your life. It's not the goal of your life. No matter which university, they are looking for something. They want to find people, students who can serve, provide value to the society and to other people. And they want to maximize, find students who can, with their education, can improve the value to serve the society and serve people, provide more value. So it's actually, if you are the person, you do research, you do startup, and you build your foundation, you already proved you have this value. It's then the college should come to you, right? Should come to you. Obviously, when you apply, you still need to be humble, but then actually college is coming to you. It's getting into top college is just a perk, I would say. It's never be a purpose. Doing research and doing startup is actually two fundamental important things for this society. Doing startup is you building something practical, useful, no matter products or service to other people. You provide value to this society already. And doing research, as I mentioned to you, frontier research, not useless research, frontier research, you are help human beings to explore the unknowns in the field people care and important to the society. Tell me, right, if you did one of those two things, or if you did both, I don't see why people don't want you. And if you apply for college, they don't accept you, it's their loss. Okay?
Thank you so much, Dr. Du, for that great presentation and for taking the time to answer some questions from the students. I know in the Q&A and the chat, some students were asking also about have a great night.
Have a great night. Thank you very much. Or great evening, great afternoon. Thank you very much.